Hey guys, and what's going on? I hope you're having a blessed up Sunday, and if it's not blessed up, just look for ways for it to be blessed. Just maybe make a list of a few different things. And speaking of which, today is day number 25 on 30 days of building self-worth. And today is all about not giving yourself a reason to allow your past pain, your past failures, and your past memories to be projected into your future. And to be able to know that you can make the next right decision for your future. You don't have to keep dragging your past with you in order to move forward. So today I'm going to show you a really simple exercise that I use all the time. I teach my clients how to do it. I'm going to share that with you towards the end of today. And then the goal is to establish a forward movement mindset, to go back to your past, number one, and to forgive those things that are creating a fear into your ability to not trust yourself to make the next right decision, whether it be for business or relationships. And then taking those, like, if you look at those negative experiences, one thing that I've learned like years ago when I was understanding more on like emotional management is if you go back and you look at those experiences and you understand that all negative experiences are just information to give you that you don't want that experience anymore. Because if you understand that the only way to have knowledge is to have an experience. So if you've never had an experience, you don't have knowledge. So the cool thing about having negative experiences is you have clarity. You have clarity and you have knowledge on this is what I don't want. And so if you make a list of all those things that you don't want to project into your life anymore, that you knew like intuitively, like maybe there was something inside of your spirit that was like, don't sign that contract, don't do business with that person, don't get into a relationship with that person, don't like park your car in that parking spot, and you do it anyway, what can happen is that you're like, okay, now I'm going to really trust that version of me. So you have right knowledge of knowing like that voice is validated, that internal dialogue, there's validation in it, and you don't have to wait for those bad experiences to happen in order to trust yourself. And so you can take those experiences and you can turn them into something called a clarity statement. So I'm actually going to give you two exercises today. So you can have a clarity statement. So if you write out the experiences that you no longer want to create anymore, you can say, I'm capable of making aligned decisions for my highest and greatest good in this season of my life. Because remember, life is seasonal, and where you're at, nothing in life is permanent. And I think once you understand that, you can kind of ease up on yourself a little bit and just know that the whole point of life is to enjoy the process, to enjoy the journey. Because if you're not enjoying the journey, you're not enjoying the process, no matter how much you achieve, you're always gonna feel defeated and dissatisfied once you hit that target. It doesn't matter how big it is, and it's not gonna last long because there was no enjoyable journey, so it wasn't worth it for you. Another thing too is I was listening to an audiobook that I'm listening to right now, and they were saying like Elon Musk made this speech towards his third failed launch, and his third employees were just so discouraged at that point. They're just like, well, this is it, we're done, like all this hard work for nothing. In his speech he said, I promise you as a leader, I will never give up. I will never give up. I will always strive to figure it out. And that alone inspired other people. It's just to have that like perseverance mindset, to get back up in moments where you feel defeat, to get back in moments where you feel like, okay, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to reframe this, and which is what I'm going to teach you towards the end of today's live stream, is how to reframe it and how to course correct. But the one thing to do is to keep your mindset in a positive way. So I'm capable of making aligned decisions for my highest and greatest good. I trust my ability, if I can't figure it out, that I know I've brought in the right people who are capable of helping me get what I want. So maybe you're in a season where you don't have the resources, but you can do some research so that when the resources come in, you know exactly who you're bringing in as part of your lineup. There are certain coaches that are way out of my budget, but they're on my list because once I hit my budget, they're the first people that are going to be on part of my lineup to help me scale even to the next level. And that's also part of having that forward movement mindset of like, okay, when I get to this level, this is my next step, and these are the people that are going to help me get to that next step. Because sometimes if you have people that are way too leaped ahead of you, it can also create discouragement. I remember when I first started my online business and I was working a full-time job, and then I would study after hours, and I invested like $3,000 in business school at the time. And I was only making, I think I was making like $60,000 a year. And so I invested in $3,000 in an online business school, and it was all online. I had no customized coaching. The group, it was all just like self-study stuff. And she was so far ahead of where I was, and it was actually intimidating because I was like, I don't have a camera crew. I'm not polished. I'm not this and that. And then it was very defeating because I invested in a course where the person was all the way up here and I was literally all the way up here, and I couldn't even figure out how to get here. And so sometimes when you're in these spaces of making sure that you're leveling up and scaling to finding somebody who's going to get you from here to here, and then from here to here, and then here to here, so every once in a while, I've seen maybe very few people that have been here and have hired people over here and have pulled them up here. But there's a lot of steps in between. And so I wanted to say that because I actually had a coaching call with somebody the other day, and they're like, oh, thank you for saying that, because no wonder I can't get up and going with these other programs, because that's how I feel. And I trust my ability. Here's one. I trust my ability. If I can't figure it out, I just said that one. I hold my ground no matter what I encounter. This is a huge one, especially if you're moving forward and you're forgiving your past mistakes on stuff, and you're just holding your ground no matter what. You're staying true to what you said you were going to do, no matter what, no matter who, no matter whatever. And an exercise I'm going to show you that you're going to do right here is it's a 3-box segment. So you can make a 3-box segment here. And in the right-hand side is going to say your past. The middle is going to say your next clear step. And then the left-hand side is going to say your goal. The way that the brain works is on the right-hand side is your past, and your left-hand side is your future. And so you'd want to write your target goal in the left-hand side as it being your forward movement mindset. And then the right-hand side is going to be the past. And the middle is what is your next clear step to just get you moving. Because the goal is like for you, if you could just get some momentum going, that's gonna allow, if you could just take that step, that's gonna give you the momentum you need in order to keep going with all the other harder things. And then when you achieve that one thing, you're gonna feel like you're capable of achieving the other. And when you achieve one more thing, you're able to achieve the other. And so utilize that today. That's one way of building up your self-worth and that self-appreciation, is that you utilize your past as information, understand and look to see the lessons that were learned, the knowledge that you now have, the clarity that you have. So that's like, oh yeah, woohoo. One of the biggest things that I see many people struggling with is a lack of clarity and confliction of the mind. And when you have that confliction of the mind and the confusion, people just don't know where to step. So it's almost like they stay in this ping pong cycle. But once you have that clarity, people then have the confidence, because confidence is just the byproduct of clarity. So once you're clear on something, you're going to be completely confident on it, and you're just going to move completely different and a lot faster. And so when you are having an experience, because remember, knowledge only stems from experience. You can't know something if you haven't had an experience. So if you're going after something for the first time that you have no experience on, it's just going to rely on a segment of trust. And so when you have a past history of just face planting over and over and over again, the first thing you can do is have that clarity and use those negative experiences as information and clarity, and turn them into clarity statements, or power statements, I like to call them, the ones that I just read you right now. So I'd love to hear what you received value from today in today's live stream. If you want the PDFs, you can get them at tanyacoliver.com/calendar, as well as If you have any questions in the inner circle, we have our inner circle team huddles every Thursday where we break these things down. We get into coaching, real life coaching every Thursday. And that's just what we do. If you love this, share it with your people. Let me know what diamonds I dropped on you today and the one thing you're going to integrate. And then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got a lot of things coming up and going this year. Super excited about. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. See you later.